Happy Devils Wednesday. This is the Woo Report, episode 115, titled, Is Jack Hughes okay? Is Jack Hughes okay? I'm your host, Sam Woo, streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Thank you, everybody, who came out to Todd's Lounge 97.3 yesterday. We'll be back there tomorrow and Saturday. Saturday, special guest Chico Resch should be stopping by at Todd's Lounge 97.3 before the Devils take on the Buffalo Sabres Saturday. But tomorrow, the Devils will take on the big bad Washington Capitals. But is Jack Hughes okay? Now, here at the Let's Go Devils podcast, Woo Report, we don't speculate. We talk hockey, but we don't speculate what's going on. But one of the things that I'm just annoyed about is, well, refreshing my social media accounts, following the insiders. Is Jack Hughes okay? And the response that we all get, listed day to day, should know more later in the day. Now, Lindy Ruff today said that the Washington Capitol, it's going to be physical tomorrow. Jack Hughes took a nasty hit, and he looked good yesterday. He looked awesome yesterday, is what Scotty was saying. He was just skating in circles around them, around the Seattle Kraken. Thomas from the YouTube Live says Jack got whacked by the Crack. Crack is whack. We said that. I like what John Tanaka is saying in the Facebook Live. Hughes looked like Rocky Balboa at the end round one, getting tossed by Ivan Drago. But if that's true, John, that Jack Hughes is like Rocky Balboa, that means he's coming back to tomorrow night, because he's like a piece of iron. Remember that scene in Rocky IV? And the guy that hit Jack Hughes, if he dies, he dies. I'm just making Rocky references. Hughes comes back and ends communism, ? John? Okay, we're getting a little too silly here on the Woo Report. But love the response by the New Jersey Devils. And I've gotten criticized before on my blog, hockeybuzz.com. I get criticized all the time there. I'm so immune to it that let them criticize away. They're just a bunch of keyboard punchers. But I did get a valid point. He said, Sam, this is not the old school NHL games. This one guy wrote, a while back, he said, the game is different now. And he doesn't like my Neanderthal mentality and approach to today's NHL game, which is more speed and skill. I get that. But first of all, I'm all about speed and skill, believe it or not. I could do away with the fake Neanderthal, hit your chest, beat the crap out of the other hockey player. It's all within the context of the game, in my eyes. I don't like staged fighting. I like raw emotion. I like fighting for your teammates, not giving an inch. I love the physicality of the game. I love the chess match. And I'll admit, I sometimes like the drama, the storylines that the media puts behind it. But last night, and this goes with my argument about hockey grit, and it goes with my argument of having that edge. The Devils are showing signs for the first time in a long time that they've got that edge. When Jack Hughes went down, the team responded. Couple fights here. Was the hit bad? Lindy Ruff doesn't think so, but it was a nasty spill. But I love the fact that the players are protecting Jack Hughes, because the people that say that I'm a Neanderthal, old school hockey does not fit in this game, look, I get about the speed and skill, but to make an analogy, it's going to happen. These things are going to happen, and it's how you respond. Whether it's 1970s NHL or 2021 NHL. It's like telling politicians, hey, let's stop with the mudslinging. Let's just stick with the issues. Just like the NHL, let's stop fighting, but let's stick to speed and skill. Fighting is still going to happen. Okay? It's just a matter of the context of the game. And I thought the Devils did a very good job. I liked what Damon Severson said at the end of the game. He didn't even know who did it. But he said, no. And maybe that's a message to the Washington Capitals. No. We're going to defend our teammates. We're going to not only beat you on the ice, but with the scoreboard as well. And I like that. I'm not saying, pull a Tom Wilson or a Brad Marchand. I'm not saying those kind of shenanigans. What I'm saying is, hey, you're going to put a hit on our best player, the future of our franchise, the guy that's going to help us win a Stanley Cup and win my Stanley Cup, my chance at it, because you only have a few years, so much, a small window in life to play in the NHL. That you're going to take out our best guy, well, you got something coming to you. And those are the checks and balances, the unwritten rules of the game that, it's still there. It's not as obvious. It's different, much, much different. And that's just human nature. It's competition. You will always have that. And I'm glad that the Devils have that edge to them. I'm glad. Because if you don't, and I'm going to argue with the naysayers, because this has been bothering me, because one guy's accusing me of being a Neanderthal, and Woo doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, at the end of the day, it's a dog-eat-dog world, And it's best to defend your teammate, because if you don't, the other side's going to eat you up. Like, again, dog eat dog world. They're going to punish you. And if you don't do anything about it, it just will never stop. This is the first major test. And I'm proud to say this young Devils team finally passed that test. I hope Jack Hughes is okay. We'll find out later in the day. Hopefully during your afternoon drive, as we drop the podcast 20 minutes after the Woo Report's done on the live feeds on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. Bobby Vanilla, he says, you need to have fighting. If you injure a player, get ready to answer the bell. Well, Bobby Vanilla, I agree with you, but there are people out there, fans out there, that think, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Look, I don't condone kind of, what's that word? I forgot that word, but it's a good word. This, is it premeditation? I don't know. I forgot the word. Where I don't condone planning this stuff out. Like, okay, we're going to play, this team. Okay, I'm going to take out. I don't like that stuff. I like it in the context of the game. I like the emotions to be raw, real. And I reference this all the time. 2004 Stanley Cup Finals. Iginla versus LeCavier. That was real. Fighting for their childhood dream to win the Stanley Cup and not giving an inch. That, my friends, is why hockey is awesome. And it comes in so many different forms. The skill, the speed, the hockey IQ, but it also comes with grit. You mix all that together, and you got yourself a great team. Douglas Walker says orchestrated. That's a good word. Premeditated. I think it's premeditated. Yeah. You don't want to do all that kind of crap. Pete says fighting when warranted is fine by me. Fighting just to do it is junk. Agreed. Standing up for teammates is all good. Agreed. Now, if I was Cam Jansen, and that was my ability, I would love to be fighting. But a lot of these players, most of those players are out of the league right now. One of the best hockey games I watched in a long time, besides the injury, says Nick Chalk. Violence, says Douglas Walker. And Douglas Walker, thank you for saying this. He says, Sam, you know what you're talking about. Yeah, well, you got the woo haters, and then you got the people that like me. But I speak my mind, and so should you. I always try to bring both the sides of the issue. And this is why we have great hockey discussion here on the Woo Report, the Let's Go Devils podcast, both Game Day Live edition and, hey, how about that Devils After Dark, that post game last night? We finally pulled it off. Scotty and I doing the recap. Love it. And hopefully this will fulfill your afternoon drive as we drop the podcast probably in 20 minutes. Thank you to Rocco that came out, shook my hand, and said, I love the podcast. Keep doing it. And it meant a lot to me that said, this is real. Of course it's real. I wouldn't want it any other way. And I love the discussions because you, the fans, sometimes bring up some great ideas. And Adam Morgan says, wish The linesman has got the hell out of the way, though. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to ask Bryce Salvador. We got to get him on the podcast again. Good friend of the podcast, because he had a front row seat to all that. Did anybody see that, like, on the MSG feed? I mean, those that were at the game may have not saw it, but if you watch the MSG feed, Bryce Salvador is like right in the middle of it. He's like this. Just watching that. He's probably thinking, oh my goodness. Back in the day when I played, the rest didn't rush in that quickly. But yeah, it's but again, it sent a message to the Seattle Kraken and it sent a message to the rest of the league. Now I'm going to steal a Beer Baron comment that he made in a group text. He's like, the Seattle Kraken kind of has that Flyers feel to it, the chippiness, and oh yeah, it just happens that their former coach Dave Hackstall was the coach. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I thought I'd steal that line because I thought that was pretty interesting that what Beer Baron said. And I have to credit Beer Baron because, I don't want him to claim that I'm plagiarizing like some people. But anyway, Nick Chalk, Mercer Rookie of the Year, first Devil since Gomez to win it, calling it now. I think he has a great chance. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's on pace to have, over 82 points this season. Based on sample size of 2 games. Bobby Manel says, I don't get MSG because Xfinity dropped MSG. See, I have Comcast, but I have the DirecTV app. I guess I don't know how it feels, but I feel it because I did have Xfinity TV not too long ago. Probably had Xfinity for almost 15 years till I made the switch. I feel for the fans. I feel for the fans that are struggling with ESPN Plus and the adjustments there. It used to be so easy with NHL.TV, from what I hear. $15 a month, NHL Center Ice. I'm in Sarasota, Florida, says Douglas Walker. Okay, that's good to know. Greg Desmond asks, traveling to New Jersey in the near future to go to a game. What is the protocol to enter the Rock for COVID? Proof of full vax or recent negative COVID test? From what I understand, Greg, you can look it up on NewJerseyDevils.com. I think they give you 2 choices. They give you a solution here to go to the game. They're not turning you away, but you got to comply to the rules. Either you show a picture, which could be on the phone, or the actual document, the vaccination card, that you are fully vaccinated. You may enter without a mask at your discretion, but they highly recommend that you put on a mask. If you don't show the vaccination card, you must wear a mask at all times as you go through security. Now, for me, and I'm just talking about me personally, this is not to influence anybody. I want to go to the Devils game, so I just slap on a mask, even though I'm fully vaccinated, but it takes time to open up your phone and blah, 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 blah. I just put on the mask. I throw my stuff in through security. Hopefully that metal detector doesn't detect a dime in my pants pocket, and then I got my stuff, and I'm on my way. That's how I do it. Because I would just want to bust through that line. I hate lines. There's 3 pet peeves in my life. Long lines, paying for parking, and ATM fees. I don't know. I don't know about you. And New York Ranger fans and Flyer fans, yada, yada, yada. That's kind of obvious. Pet peeves. But I hope that answers your question, Greg. But also realize you should go to NewJerseyDevils.com or PrudentialCenter.com, Prudential Center's website. They should have those rules and regulations there. And, I mean, honestly, for me to search my vaccination card on my phone, I'll just throw on a mask, go in. Besides, you kind of look badass too. I also noticed that. Like if I wear my sunglasses and a mask, nobody messes with you. Matter of fact, I did notice because I did on opening night, I wore my mask the entire time. Again, my choice, not influencing, not to make this political, but I wore my mask and I wore my sunglasses and with my devil's cap. And I'll tell you, I look like such a badass that anytime I walked anywhere, everybody got out of my way. And it was a packed house. Yeah. So, those are just tips from me. Why don't you try it sometime? Wear a mask, wear sunglasses with a devil's cap. Nobody messes with you. It's the best. It's like getting in. It's like using an easy pass to get through the line. And then when you're wearing the mask and the sunglasses and the devil's hat, you look like essentially look like a bank robber in my eyes. But, people clear out. It's kind of like a HOV lane. I know in New Jersey, we really don't use that. That never really worked. But it's kind of like, people get out of your way. I don't know what they're thinking. But anyway, either that or people just don't like me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But anyway, is Jack Hughes okay? We will find out later. Maybe we'll have breaking news. I got to run errands right now. But I also want you to know that 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, State of the Fan Address, Nick Villano, Pucks and Pitchforks blog editor-in-chief, and my good friend and co-host, and I will be live. And we have... I think it's Nate McHale from Inside Hockey, credentialed Devils beat writer on. And hello, Stacey White. Hello. And we're gonna have him on. I should take Nate out for lunch at Taj Lounge 973. Chikoresh will be there on Saturday. I'll be there on Thursday, putting the finishing touches. Hopefully I get it right. We're going to slap the beta tag on these game day lives and Devils After Dark because we're still working out the bugs, but we're going to be playing music. Scotty from SiriusXM, Liquid Metal, put a playlist together. We're going to try this thing out and get song requests for Saturday at Taj Lounge 973. The place to be. The place to talk Devils hockey, watch the podcast, mingle, show off your Devils fandom. And we're going to build up Taj Lounge 973 to the biggest destination to watch the podcast and be a New Jersey Devils fan. Michael McLeod is in for Jack tomorrow. Yeah, I saw the lines. Douglas Walker. I was thinking that it could go either two ways, that Pavel Zacha moves back to center, but obviously Lindy Ruff did not want to mess with that chemistry. So Mikey McLeod getting a spot, getting to show, hey, he's a first round pick, got size, got some grit. Let's see how that goes. But you're going to need physicality against the big bad Washington Capitals, Tom Wilson, Alexander Ovechkin and company, John Carlson. That should be a good one. That should be a good litmus test. We will find out if Jack Hughes is really okay. Hopefully he is. Hopefully he can come back soon. Get well soon, Jack. We love you. We love the flow. No one's going to mess with the flow. Enjoy your commute, everybody, today as we drop the podcast in about 20 minutes from now. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go.